minute.
All right. Lane BTS is live. Which this, ironically, is only an advertisement for.
Ironically, yes. That way we can direct traffic over there. Let me see if I can drop this in the chat. Hello. Keep talking.
I do have someone. Oh, hello. So today I thought we'd just, fortunately the two of us can talk about most anything while we're together. But more specifically, morning, Nicole. More specifically, I was thinking that we might want to talk about, being demonetized, alternative revenue streams, all of that, exciting stuff. Happy Valentine's Day.
All right.
What's more romantic than talking about money?
You're speaking my love language. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end things here, guys, and people will hopefully see. So, yeah, you can hit the link, and you'll be able to show up in the other live stream. Thank you so much. There we go. Peak concurrence.
All right. So, happy Valentine's Day, guys.
Hey, Mama 3.
Should we talk about Valentine's first, or just move straight on to money?
What do you guys want to hear first?
Ann Jay says she's here to hear
the news. Okay, well, Ann Jay, yes. We'll spill the tea, give the news.
Okay. So, one thing that we've definitely noticed about demonetization is, you'd think since YouTube is basically just a series of tubes, they could just cut it off and turn it back on.
Right.
This turns out that is not the case. So the way that monetization and ads work is that they taper on and taper off. It's very strange. It's one of those things. Back in November, when we first got monetized, we kind of saw it happen, but we weren't really sure, it was our first time even being monetized, so we weren't exactly sure if it was normal or not. But now that we've been demonetized officially, it happened, Tuesday evening at 7:40 or so, and we can now see we had some ads on Wednesday. It's very clear that it tapered off. We made significantly less money, but we still made $14 or so for Wednesday. I mean, that's definitely not $0, which is kind of what we were expecting when they say you're demonetized. So that was weird.
And thank you to everybody who is supporting us on Patreon, who shared the link for yesterday's video about monetization. Hey, Joy, I really appreciate you guys sharing that video, just so other people and other creators are aware of how fast and loose YouTube is playing, while also willing to accept money, essentially, for, I can say it here, the egregious mistreatment of children.
Yeah. We are doing well. Well, kind of. There are things we're doing well in, not in making money on YouTube, but other things.
Yeah.
It's Valentine's and we have each other.
That's right. And I gave you a small sliver of brownie.
That's right. True love. Send most of the brownies to school with our son and give me the tiny little piece.
You're the one who wants to be healthy.
Well, that's why I didn't beat you.
I would worry. By the way, if you haven't subscribed over here, guys, it really does help, as well as liking this. Hey, Nitty! Again, thank you so much for all you guys have done. We really do appreciate it. It really has helped.
Yeah. And, just no rush, Brittany. If when you can afford it, great. If you can't, then no judgment. I mean, honestly, you can only afford what you can afford.
Honestly, sharing that video about demonetization so people know that, hey, they're willing to monetize, honestly, what looks like the abuse of children. They're willing to monetize that, but they're willing to demonetize speaking out against that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it says a lot where YouTube's values are.
And yes, Daniel is at school.
He is.
he got sent with a bunch of Valentines that he wasn't actually involved in making, and a bunch of Valentines he wasn't involved in making, and brownies that he would prefer to eat himself.
That's true. It's good for him to learn to share with friends.
True.
That's an important value. Hey, Angela. Hey, Natalie.
So, let's see. Things to, I guess it's worth stating, before we were demonetized, we made like about $300, 3/11.
Mm-hmm.
So,
we'll see if they pay up. Otherwise, it's going to get really interesting.
I'm sure they will.
It does. I agree, Anne. I agree 100%. Yeah, she is, Victoria. That's true. Like, I mean, she thinks everybody is bullying her. But here's the thing. YouTube doesn't owe anybody a platform, and I accept that. My thing is just make the rules clear, concise, and fair. They don't owe me a platform. Like, I understand that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Hi, Kentucky. Hi, Deborah.
Hi.
No, I agree with that. It's one of those things, like, they said, oh, you know, you can reapply in a month. Just make sure you fixed any harassment in your videos. It's like, okay, what harassment? Well, here are all the things that could potentially be harassment. Okay, we don't think we have any of that. Well, then we'll respond with a form letter reiterating all the things that could be harassment.
Yeah, it's very unclear. It is very unclear, and there's no clear standard. It's like, well,
like, let me tell you what I think happened. Just from the perspective of a software engineer, what probably happened is they, you know, a bunch of people reported those videos, you know, fans of whoever, and then eventually it got, you know, it had enough reports that either automatically triggered, or more likely, since it said a review, they had someone manually like view the videos that have been reported, and they decided, okay, yes, we're going to punish this for harassment, and we're going to demonetize it for a month. But there's no like selection beyond harassment. There's no like note taking on what they consider the harassment to be, what video it's on, anything like that. It's just like,
well, and like
vague harassment.
They have these new things about like implied threats, but again, that doesn't tell me anything. That's just like the newest element of it.
Yeah, it's like, and that's the thing. They need to have some sort of notes or something when they do it to tell you what they find objectionable. Otherwise, it's like, so basically you just don't want me to say anything negative about anyone? Which
is extremely dangerous if we're only allowed to say positive things, because then, like, with the environment they've created, then we have an environment where people are allowed to intentionally make children sick for views. They're allowed to essentially make their children developmentally delayed for views, and nobody is allowed to speak out against this. And the cries that have gone on, all the hard work that people have done reporting and trying to make things change, then all of that becomes pointless.
Yeah. It's like, it really is just a matter of like well, what I will say to sympathize with YouTube side is when you've got such a huge ecosystem, it's got to be hard to come up with like good scalable solutions, because you do need a solution that scales well. That is, I can sympathize with that problem. It's just this solution isn't a good one. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, Google used to be known for having the smartest people and everything, but that's definitely not the case anymore. Like, this is the best you can do.
Oh, let's see here. Masuba said, I'm surprised it doesn't work when you get a copyright strike and they tell you what video violates. I agree. Like, if you're getting reported, they need to say what's being reported on and what's happening. Yeah, like, it's very clear when you get a copyright strike. They're like, this section, this part right here has music and slash, or, you know, whatever. Or whatever. And like, we had that. Like, the other day, we accidentally had a little bit of TV going in the background, and like had Michael Jackson playing in the background while had Daniel doing a little dance. And it was like, well, whoops, you're right, fair enough. And so we cut that out. But it's like, this is just so vague and impossible to. I mean,
on the one hand, like, harassment can take so many different forms. I kind of get it being vague.
Sure, it's gotta be
like the
vague.
policy itself, I get that. But when you're going to like actually demonetize someone, if you can't pin down something specific that they're doing, then they're not doing anything effectively. Like, you're just basically bullying them.
Right. You're using it to silence people, which frankly is not going to work. It's like you guys who have seen this morning, like, I'm going to call out people like Amy's Life Journey, like Andrea, like the Gardiners. If you're doing wrong things, like, I don't care if you parent differently than me. That's fine. I don't have an objection to that. Like, I don't have to agree with your parenting, but when you're doing things that are harmful to your children, I mean, obviously, it falls under fair use to call it out, and that's YouTube's private decision to be super vague and allow people to abuse the system.
Is there any chance the Gardiners complained and said you were negatively impacting the revenue, which in turn negatively impacts YouTube's revenue? I mean, there's a chance. I'm almost certain the Gardiners did complain. I don't think they're not big enough players that I don't think they'd get YouTube to like do anything by themselves.
Right, they're not PewDiePie.
Right. If they and a number of their subscribers did it, then I could see that doing something. Similarly, I think if you got like a bunch of their fans came in and like reported our videos just repeatedly, that could do it. Similarly, I think you guys could, if you guys want to like go in and start reporting videos that you find objectionable, whatever those are, I think that's entirely legit, considering what people have been doing. And similar, if you guys want to like, I think if we want to start a campaign, one of your fans suggested this the other day. One of your patrons was basically like, a channel got remonetized because a bunch of their fans started a write-in thing. So if you guys want to write to like YouTube support, basically saying we think Claim Goth Mom should have her, monetization reinstated, well, it's not going to hurt. Might help. It's
only going to help. So I'll be sure and put something up on a community post. I'll try to do that.
Bye, Victoria.
Hey, bye. Have a good day. I'll probably put that up on a community post and on Instagram, a place where you guys can write in to let them know your thoughts. Because if you can complain into getting somebody silenced, then I don't know, apparently they want to reward people for complaining, then I think you should be able to say, hey, no, we value the freedom of speech. We're giving you our time, which is effectively our money, Google. Like, we deserve to have a say in what we want to see.
If you leave info in a post, I will write in after work. That's not a bad idea. You can do one of those community posts, like putting in contact info for writing YouTube. And that's a good idea.
Absolutely.
Hi, BB.
Hey, BB. Hello. I think I will do that. I'll have that on Instagram and on a community post. Have you had any big YouTubers you think that could help? Most of my friends have smaller channels, like my friends online. I've talked a little bit about it, and they've been supportive. But I really don't personally know any bigger YouTubers. I should reach out. Like, it's not going to hurt me to reach out. It's certainly, if you guys want to reach out and share this story with anyone you know who values equality and fairness.
Any other big YouTubers, because I do know that this is something that YouTubers have been a little anxious about for a while, because obviously this harassment policy is so big, and they've been worried about something like this happening. So if people bring this up, I think this is something that YouTubers could potentially really pick up on, because if it happened to this channel, it could happen to a lot of other channels.
Right. And I mean, people who have good intentions, who just, are speaking their truth, like Zachary Michael B. Petty, all of those guys become at risk. Repsion, it's like, well, is he technically harassing Onision? It's a bunch of crap.
To be honest with you, we have gotten in contact with a couple of bigger channels, but it's still, it's a process.
Yeah, exactly. We'll and it's just hard to make sure that they see their message. You guys know, like, sometimes it's so easy to miss things, so I don't take it personally.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of grinding it out. No,
we don't know who reported us on this one.
It doesn't give us that information.
Yeah, it doesn't give us that information. One thing I can say is that we have had 2 videos already removed from YouTube for harassment, and they're both Gardner videos. So there is that pattern.
That does
refer
tip
back
us
to.
off.
But as for what prompted like being demonetized in total,
we just don't know.
It doesn't say. That's what we were complaining about. Is like it's not specific enough for us to actually do anything or change anything.
Yeah, it's like, well, did you remove the problematic material?
Yeah. Are you just basically complaining about the videos you've already taken down? Are we supposed to change anything else? We don't.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know because they don't cite specific examples, and that just becomes really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, look, if like I intend on still doing reacts over on Patreon, I would like to keep my platform because I value you guys. And frankly, like I loved what I was able to do last night with Alec, First Class Fatherhood. If like I have an opportunity to platform people who are smaller, who frankly don't get the attention they deserve, like that's worth it to me. And like that's something I really want to do. You certainly don't see the Gardiners or Fully Living or Jordan Page. You don't see them platforming say, hey, you should go and follow this person. They're making great content. Like they're incredibly narcissistic and self-absorbed. It's all about them and like their money and their stuff. And it really makes me mad.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Let's see. So
sorry, I got a little off topic.
It's good.
I concur, Ann. I absolutely agree that they're afraid another edit girl is going to come forward.
Yeah.
Can't keep the truth down forever. And one thing I will say, if I make a Patreon exclusive react, I just want to put that out there. I ask you for like a 24-hour grace period, but beyond that, if somebody wants to repost it and have their own monetized channel, like I have no problem with you reposting my content.
Oh, people are saying you did a good job with your interview.
Thank you. He's a great guy. He really is, and I hope that people follow him. He's just one thing I will say about Alec is he is a salt of the earth guy who, works really hard, seems to love his family, wants to honor fatherhood, and I really respect that. I've reached out to some other people who I think don't have the platform that they deserve, and hopefully I will hear back from them.
Yeah.
Because that's incredibly rewarding.
It is.
Because, I don't have the power, unfortunately, at this point, to stop people who are doing dangerous things, like the way they're engaging teenage fans inappropriately, or the way they're harming their children. I don't have the power to do that. But what I can do is help somebody on their way up. And then when they get rich and famous, guilt them into giving me stuff.
That's right. I think this is a good opportunity to kind of talk about secondary revenue streams.
Yeah.
So this is something I thought about talking about on the channel. And we hadn't really covered this point. We'd only talked about like YouTube revenue up until this point.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously at this point, we do have a Patreon, and we've also had a couple of paid demos, I guess we'll say.
And product placements.
Yeah, product placements.
Like
so we've had a couple of those.
Do you want me to open up IntelliFluence so you can look?
Sure. Well, you can pull it up and look. So on Patreon now we're up to, we had a nice little bump yesterday. We appreciate both all of you who had backed previously and those who responded yesterday by backing, because we went from, I don't know, 170 and some change yesterday to $203. We're up to $203 on Patreon at this point. And Patreon has been growing, pretty steadily for us too. I think we've gone from so in December we got up to like $111. That was our first month. Then in January we got up to $161, and in February we got up to $265. So yeah, we're doing pretty well.
And yeah, Patreon, it really does, because it's hard, to keep going because I want to make content, but we don't want to do so at the expense of taking away from our families. So thank you so much. This allows us to keep going and keep funding things for Daniel and things like that. I really appreciate it. I find it odd that they chose that I got demonetized around the time I did my little flex, things we've been able to afford and things like we're talking about getting Daniel in private OT and things like that. I find it odd that they chose to strike out then. It really shows people's character. So thanks for that. But we're going to make it a thing. Thank you so much. We're excited to have our OT assessment at 1 o'clock today. And
it'll be good.
Yeah.
And then in turn, let's see. So there's the money we made. Well, your big money is basically to spend the Nancy Drew game because you first made $40 tweeting about it on your tiny Twitter.
On my tiny Twitter.
And then they're like, you know what? If we're going to use her tiny Twitter, we might as well go with her significant or actually decent-sized YouTube channel. And they paid you $90
and give me a free game.
Yeah, and you got a free game.
Yeah.
To do a demo of the game. So there's also $130. Basically, $90 in January, $40 in December that she's made so far off of product placement.
And don't forget my 25 cents in referrals.
Oh, and your 25 cents in referrals back in October. Oh boy.
And we've had a number of really cool free products.
Yeah, there have also been some free products on top of that, although that's not really a revenue stream.
That's not really a revenue stream. But...
And let's see. I was going to say something when you start talking about products. You start talking while I try to think of it.
Oh, so...
Sorry. Now I remember the third one. And, of course, now we've got an apparel store. As you saw, we negotiated ourselves down to a lower cut and gave Sherry more. Yeah! We beat her. We got her.
But, you know what? It's worth it. She's, taking the brunt of the burden upon herself. Like, that's only fair. And I will say, it's worth it. Sherry is somebody, she's an autism mom. She's an actually autistic person.
So, I'm going to just go through some of these questions real quick. Will you still be doing the streams where you chat about the recent things on Lame Goth Mom?
I would like to keep doing that. One thing is Twitch is a little bit more liberal in their platform as far as what they allow, and you don't have to mind your P's and Q's so much. So I want to start engaging on the Twitch platform. I want to keep engaging you guys too. I intend to keep streaming. They don't get to, and I intend to keep making videos. They don't get to shut me down simply because they bullied me. That's not how it works.
Yeah. So, there's going to be streams on Lame Goth Mom channel still. Mm-hmm. Some streams on here occasionally, obviously, and then also some streams on Twitch. Mm-hmm. The Gardiners and the Foolies won't be able to shut us down as we play Sims based on them.
Yeah, and talk about them. That's fine.
Yeah.
And like I said, for any Patreon exclusive videos, I would ask that people give me a 24-hour grace period. But if somebody wants to take those and post them somewhere, I don't care if you monetize that content. It's not. I would rather get out there.
Yeah. All right. I still want to move on. For example, do you know the track record for channels that get demonetized, or they end up getting monetized again, or does YouTube not let it happen? It varies. So basically, YouTube has told us that in a month we can apply to be monetized again. There's no guarantee it will happen, especially since they haven't actually told us
what's wrong.
Yeah, what they find objectionable about the channel outside of very vague terms. But we do have the opportunity to apply for monetization again. What is Patreon? So Patreon is basically a site where you can be. You've probably heard terms like patron of the arts and everything. It basically gives you to be a patron for creators that you believe in. So basically, if you go on to Patreon, you can go and you can do things like, basically fund this channel. You can pay some money for it directly. And in return, there are some rewards at different tiers. So there's a $1 tier, which will let you watch all the videos that get released on this channel a day early. $3 tier lets you get followed by LGM on Instagram. There are higher level tiers that let you do you can see exclusive streams and everything. Yeah, I can just copy it from right here, I suppose. There we go. No, I don't want Creator Home.
Yeah, I just wanted to give people the link if they wanted
Yeah.
to see.
I
do not have a Facebook page for this. I have a personal one, and I don't use the platform very much. Now, I am pretty active on Instagram. My handle is @LaneGothMom667. I'm pretty active on there.
Yeah.
And I have a Twitter, which is @GothLane.
Where you're moderately active.
Where I'm moderately active. Where I mostly get into bizarre Twitter conversations.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, so Patreon is one of those things, like she's been hinting at, depending on whether or not YouTube will let more critical videos be monetized or not, we might end up having to like swap things around where the really critical, controversial, so the harassing content ends up being only like Patreon only. And like she was saying, if the patrons end up wanting to like take some of that content and rehost it after a while, like that's okay. But we obviously just won't be able to put it on the main channel if YouTube's going to like just give us a hard time about it.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do to help? So yeah, writing YouTube would be great.
I'll find a support email here.
Yeah, find a support email. That would obviously be big. Anyone who can like share with other big YouTubers, that would like any big YouTubers that you know of or that you think would be into that. Basically any type of reaction channel or anything. Like go tell them about this, post it, post about it to them, tell them. If you have the extra money, like don't feel guilty if you don't, but if you have the extra money, backing on Patreon would definitely be appreciated right now.
Sharing the video is
sharing
huge.
the video is also big.
I'm going to copy paste this email.
Like posting it so that more people can hopefully find out about this and find out about the stupid things that YouTube is doing.
Right.
Yeah, those are the main things.
So I'm going to post this email right now in the chat. Oops, sorry. That was a little meta. So you guys can write here if you find this unacceptable. There's the email. I'm going to make a community post right now about that. That is the email. Oh, there it is. So I'm going to... Oh, good. It showed up. It actually showed up. I'm writing it right now as we speak. Keep talking.
Maybe put the super critical on Twitch or Instagram TV after the Patreon. I mean, that's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea.
That is kind of why we're thinking about doing some streaming on Twitch for a while, is the fact that, we can say not quite whatever we want, but, they have looser standards over there than apparently they do on YouTube. So we could potentially like move some of that stuff over, and it might even happen in some cases the opposite way, where we stream something originally on Twitch, and if we especially like it, it might get moved over to like YouTube or to Patreon. There are some famous reactors like H3H3. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but basically the biggest reactor at this point, although he doesn't do too many reactions. Well, he still basically does reactions, but they do a podcast that they first stream on Twitch, and then it basically they post the recording onto YouTube.
Now, he's the one that you guys thought was more in shape, handsome Hadar when he was dancing.
Yeah, that guy.
You're like, Hadar looks ripped. He looks great.
Yeah. He's probably not quite in a lot of you ladies' demographics, so you may not be familiar with him, but he and his wife are very large YouTubers. They're the kind that can get some fairly famous people on their podcast just because they're so big. They recently had Papa John of Papa John's, who
it seems like such a sincere good guy. Now, I would say Papa John is like Jay Morrell. Ethan is to Papa John like I am to Jay Morrell. He loves Papa John.
He does.
He does. I get it.
All right. Now what are we even talking about?
Sorry, I just remembered how much I love J-Mail. Sorry, I made that too chocolatey and it gets in your teeth. I made him a mocha.
She did this to me on purpose.
At least I tell you about it.
So I can feel awkward.
That's okay. I probably have stuff on my teeth. Too.
No. But I can fix that. Come here.
I don't like that.
Oh, she doesn't like stuff on her teeth.
No, I don't like that dark chocolate. Too bitter. I lost my I used to like dark chocolate. I've lost my taste since having Daniel.
I don't like that dark chocolate. It's too bitter. It's like
banned from YouTube.
It's like the Bill Murray of candies.
It is the Bill Murray of candies. But yeah, I really love the Twitch platform, and they're really moving on from just video games, so I think that's a good suggestion.
Yeah, like there are a number of people who will just like chat on, mainly women, admittedly. We've got a number of women who'll basically just go on Twitch and like chat with their fans, or do like some ASMR stuff or different stuff like that, because they've got a whole category called IRL, and you've also got like people who do Twitch and stream like, you know, tabletop RPGs or all sorts of different stuff like that too.
Yeah. It is hard for me to stop doing reacts on my main channel because it's just like, oh, like this Amy's life journey person. This is why we can't have nice things on the internet. It's like, of course, you're gonna smack your child on live stream and, you know, hit them with wooden spoons and make me hate you. Because we would have liked to have supported her.
Yeah, I mean, look, she's very extra, but she's extra in the most extraordinary way. I mean, look, she is what gay men wish they were. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's very
true. Except for, obviously, the being extremely overweight part. Not so much that part, but, you know, all the other parts of, like, the hijab, the head covering with, like, little, like, chrysanthemum or whatever it is that she wears on top, and like the weird little pronunciation she does for everything, the extra fabulous pronunciation she gives, a lot of words, and all of that, and her insane dance routines.
Yes, her dancing is amazing. And I actually before I found out about all of like the horrible
LGMASMR whispering her reactions. Amy, stop beating your children. Amy, stop it. That's inappropriate. Oh, don't do that anymore. Oh. We love a non-violent queen.
Oh. No, I will say, like, some people have really pleasantly surprised me on YouTube. Biggest Mikey, who is mainly a foodie beauty and ALR reactor. Like,
Good morning, Raquel.
Morning, Raquel. Kelly. She goes by Kelly, even though her first name's Raquel. Good to see you. Like, it was really, like, pleasantly surprising to have, like, some decently sized folks, like, that's not a joke. If Biggest Mikey sees this, he's kind of a heavy guy, but that's his name. He chose it. But it was nice to see that and have some people like that reach out and be supportive, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah. He chose the name Biggest Mikey. I feel like I should emphasize that.
And hopefully if you guys like keep on posting things, keep on sharing it with any of the other YouTubers you watch and interact with, hopefully it'll get picked up by more people, because, you know, this isn't such a big channel that when something like this happens to us, it'll instantly go viral. But, Robin's Nest Embroidery. So, our other channel got demonetized. Demonetized. So we do not have ad revenue for the next month. After that, we can reapply and try to become monetized again. So, you know.
We'll see. And if you guys would like to sub over here, it really helps. You know, it really does help. As well as subbing over at Cool Chad Dad over on Twitch. I guess that'll be probably be our primary Twitch account since we've been using that one.
Yes.
Yes.
Gardiners? Probably. Maybe the Foolies.
By the way, Robin's Nest, I was curious on your embroidery channel. I hope that 100 subs video actually helped you in growing. Gotta keep growing. Thank you so much, Mom of 3 Girls. You guys got to get monetized. You got to do that.
Yeah, that way YouTube can take it away.
That's right. You'll vacuum the wrong way and trigger somebody.
Mm-hmm. And they'll be like, you need to change what you do, but we're not going to tell you how. But in a month, make sure you fixed whatever you did wrong. Read our minds.
That's awesome, Robin's Nest. That's great. And Mama 3 Girls, keep posting content. Keep going, guys. Like, I really think it's important. By the way, it's Follow Friday, so if you guys would also follow, Robin's Nest and Mama 3 Girls, I'd appreciate it.
Yep, pretty much.
Pretty much. And here's the thing, like, you guys are really great and just don't seek to shut down people for stating their opinions.
Yeah. I think it says a lot that our followers haven't just gone over and, like, mass reported the Foolies or the Gardiners or anything like that.
At least, like, if they did report anything, it would be for things that are actual mistreatment, not just agreeing that, like, not just thinking, like, oh, their children are wild or whatever, for actual mistreatment, which is a valid reason to complain. I'm not telling anybody to take any action.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, clearly there are things that could be reported for. There's some videos they've got on YouTube that could be reported, and I'm pretty sure if the thousands of people who, like, watch your videos went over and reported some of them, it would get YouTube's attention. This says not a lot that they're more tolerant than that and haven't reported any of that stuff.
Well, things change. Hopefully they keep just being wonderful, tolerant people, because we would hate for people to get deplatformed after they did it to someone else. I mean, that would just be ironic. And we hate irony here.
We do. Isn't it kind of ironic, actually, that basically they sent their fans after us and therefore have effectively harassed us into being viewed, into YouTube shutting us down for harassment?
Yes. Yeah, because I'm psychic. Oh, pretty much.
Why aren't they concerned about the mistreatment of these children?
Well, they're making money off that.
Yeah, they are making more money off of that than they were making off of us when we were monetized. And I guess the other reason is, like I said, it might just be that they haven't been reported very much.
Stay tuned for my new vlog. SD got strangled going to the ER. There's a thumbnail for you.
Oh boy.
Oh, perfect.
Perfect.
A channel called Celt News, they have a big, long statement about each opinion being their own and do your own research. I agree with it. Now that the fair use statement and like clarifying your opinion your own, it won't protect you, unfortunately.
Yeah, it won't protect you from claims about harassment.
Yeah, unfortunately. There are tons of channels that do gossip, which is kind of, yeah, exactly. I watch a ton of teen mom gossip channels. I don't know why it's different. Well, all I can say is I provided that YouTube channel. You're certainly welcome to ask them.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll give you more than a form letter.
Yeah, please, right? YouTube partner-support at google.com.
Excuse you.
And go ahead and ask why, what we've done and that you think we should be reinstated. That would be great.
Yeah, maybe they'll give them a real answer. They'll be like, oh, because it's you guys doing it, we'll give you the answer. We just like jerking them around. That would be our luck. And forward me the email if they give you a real answer, please. Oh, yeah, I know without a crystal ball.
Not sure I can get tips.
She probably wouldn't give me tips.
Yeah.
She's, yeah. I mean, good
They
for her.
interacted back when both of your channels were much smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Yours more so, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
since she has the older channel. But like when you were just starting out, and she definitely is one of those people who views it as zero sum. It's like, no, I need to grow.
Mm-hmm.
You stay small.
Yeah, and I mean, she certainly has like good things about her channel, but she's not really interested in the same thing. Like, I'm very interested in platforming other people.
Yeah, like you did with Alec.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to do more of that in the future. Stay tuned for that. I'm certainly interested in that, and that's not her thing, which that's fine. Like, YouTube should have a variety of people. Yeah, but Yeah, she doxed herself on Kiwi Farms and did like a whole bunch of crazy stuff. So, you know, that's her choice.
That's her choice. I mean, it is a choice.
It's a choice. But she is she's growing quite a bit, and I respect that. Oh, I didn't know that, Nitty.
Use the words that the algorithm doesn't like. I mean, and in one sense, obviously that's cynical, but on the other hand, I do respect, like, being ruthless and efficient and, like, you know, trying to stick to the algorithm, like, because YouTube is a system that you have to play by.
It is.
As we, you know, well, it's a system, and then it's people randomly shutting you down for harassment without explanation.
Implied threat. But yes, I can understand being ruthless about controlling your content. That's not really the way that, like, I like to operate. But, you know, we're just different people.
Yeah.
Kelly says, how has it affected you? It didn't break your spirit. You weren't doing anything wrong. It has not broken my spirit. Absolutely not. Yeah, and I can understand that, Nitty. Like, she's got a family to take care of. I can understand wanting to stay monetized and being ruthless about your content. But, yeah, I always found it interesting. So she got her start writing on Pathos, which is kind of, like, religiously affiliated. But she's like, no, I'm not a religious person. And it just is kind of a strange story.
Yeah.
Not that I have any, like, as you guys know, like, I have friends on YouTube. I platformed people like Deconverted Man, who's very open about his atheism, and like Alec is very openly a Christian, and that's not something that matters to me. I just, you know, anyway, I'm not going to get off on a tangent.
That's right. It should be an equal system, though, Angela.
Yeah,
you're definitely right about that.
I agree.
I mean, it's just crazy that they won't. Well, no one said. I mean, after all the scandals Google and YouTube have been through in the past few years, I don't think anyone has said these are upstanding citizens.
And fair.
And fair. No one's still. I mean, when was the last time you actually heard Google's old motto of "Don't be" evil"? It's been a long time.
Did that used to be their motto?
Mm-hmm.
Don't be evil. They're like, yeah, you know what? Be evil if it's necessary.
That's a good 10, 15 years out of date, though.
Yeah, I'm not somebody, like, unlike Andrea, just because somebody doesn't like me, even if, like, they grind to destroy me, I'm not somebody who's gonna break and be like, the trolls, Like, that's not me. That's not who I am. It's like, you know what? You can try to crush me. But the thing is, even if they did, which they're not going to, good luck. Good luck breaking me. Good luck silencing me. Even if, guess what? More people are going to be coming to take my place. Always. There are going to be more creators. Like, you guys who have watched, like, other creators are, like, starting to come out. It's like, yeah, nobody is willing to stand up and boldly say it yet. But it's coming. I'm telling you, like, it's coming. There are going to be more reactors coming for Fully Living in the Gardiners. It's a matter of time.
Yeah, you already, she recently made her new friend, Chikara Transformations, who now is going to be sucked into reacting to both of them.
Yeah, she was very interested. Somebody tweeted her about the Gardiners, or it wasn't a tweet, it's somewhere, but it was very funny, whoever did that. Because Tyson's claiming that, like, he
works out 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours
every day.
Lona doesn't work out 2.5 hours.
So yeah, someone wrote and was like, "You can have a body like Tyson if you work out 2.5 hours a day."
Oh, I was like, oh, that's one of my people for sure.
For sure.
But I do know that she was very interested in our private conversations about Andrea, because the kind of people that Chikara Transformations, that Lona reacts to, are very similar. They're people who blame all of their problems on other people. So if you guys want to go over to Chikara Transformations channel and give her some gentle encouragement to use her platform to call out nonsense, because I think she's done an amazing job with calling out Amy and other people on their nonsense.
Yeah. Now it's just a question of when we can do a collab. Let's do a collab. Let's tell her you want her to do a collab with us. With you mainly, but still.
Yeah, well, it's our channel.
Yes.
But yeah, I really like her. She's a funny person, but she does have a heart. She really is a sweetheart. When you talk to her privately, she acts like she's such a little toughie.
It's like you, huh?
Yeah, she's such a little
toughie with a little heart of gold on the inside.
Ah. Oh, I understand, Tina. I'm angry too. Like, I'm definitely
2 hours and 15 minutes are resting and 10 is set up. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, you forgot his 5-minute bathroom break where he goes and goes into the restroom and checks his phone.
That's true. Checks his phone.
On the toilet.
Mama 3 Girls, I can completely understand that, but I will say it's pretty clear on your channel, even if you included your kids, the content is for adults.
Yeah.
Like that's very important, and that's the most important thing. Not whether or not you include your kids, but whether the content is for adults. You know a little bit about COPA, because like a lot of people are confused about like its impact.
Yeah, so it's basically it's about like childhood privacy. It's not going to impact your channel. Well, first of all, I think it's a California bill, right? So if you're, YouTube. New York. YouTube will still try to comply with it as best it can, but basically it has to do with them not keeping track of children's data. So you don't really have to worry if your channel doesn't appeal to minors. And I don't think any of your viewers have children-focused channels, so they should all be okay.
Right, you can include your child on your channel. Like, that's not the problem. The problem is content creators. Like, Jennifer Fudge obviously has managed to escape this. She shouldn't be. She should absolutely, like, be sent to YouTube Kids because the content is for children, even if she doesn't include her children. But, like, okay, here's a good example. Like, Lauren Brazy. Like, they include a lot of Ella or the Wee family. They include a lot.
Or Fathering Autism.
Or Fathering Autism. Like, all of those guys feature their children heavily, but it's not content for children.
Right. I don't imagine children mainly watching it. It's mainly adult women interested in watching other families.
Right. It's like, children would be, no offense, but bored to tears by their content. Like, who wants to watch a video about, like, locks on child doors if you're not actually concerned about that? Like, 8-year-olds don't care.
Yeah. Except maybe figuring out how to get them off.
Like, yes, David, tell me more about the child lock. Show me a close-up of how Brayley takes it off. Oh, thank you so much, Robin. That's so nice to do that. I'm glad that we can all support each other. Oh my gosh, Mama 3 Girls, I'm so sorry.
Is it true about Tyson and young girls? Yeah, apparently he chats with a lot of young girls through Instagram.
So what I have seen, like, and verified with my own eyes, is I have not seen, like, actual, like, sexting, like, discussing, like, acts. But, you know, there's certainly the use of sexualized emojis and things
Definitely
like that.
A lot of flirting.
There's a lot of flirting. And this is a cultural thing, but I don't think that's appropriate to do with minor girls. And I know you're the same way.
Yeah, I don't really think that's appropriate to do with, like, girls who are young as, like, 13, 14.
Yeah, I don't think that's appropriate, but that's personal taste. Like, technically, it is not a crime.
Yeah.
And if that's what Disney...
I mean, it is a little bit different than the Inghams, no doubt.
Yeah, he hasn't actually suggested things like skinny dipping or things like that. By the way, I want to show you something hilarious. because we were talking about Lauren. I've got to show you something wonderful. By the way, speaking of who's not going to be a Disney mom anytime soon.
I watched the Amy lady for the first time yesterday. Is she Andrea's sister? OMG.
Pretty much.
No, I don't think so. One is a swamp princess. The other is, I don't know, an Islamic princess.
A hijab princess. She doesn't even wear her hijab right. Let's go home.
Yeah, not going to be a Disney family anytime soon.
Autism family. So if you guys go over to Lauren Brazy's channel, her thumbnail is amazing.
Let's go home.
Let's go home. Child. Let's go home. It's in quotations. Oh, I thought that was hilarious. I mean, yeah, I saw that and I was like, well, at least nobody can say Lauren's a sellout. She's like, I'll take your free pass to Disney and then shade it. Wasn't Bryson's wife young when they met? I believe she was 13 or 14. There's probably somebody in the room, and he was 19 years old, and they spent time unsupervised.
Who's Bryson?
Gardner daddy.
Oh, okay. Why is his name evolving even more? You guys are just making it confusing on purpose.
I'm sorry that we're not the most loyal fandom.
Yeah, you should be. You should be.
Yeah. And this was per Ashley's blog at the time. She had a live journal, and she talked about how there were fireworks, and they spent all night in her room talking on the 4th of July. And that's simply, again, cultural thing, not something. I wouldn't be comfortable with a 19-year-old in Daniel's room when he was 13 talking all night. Like, that's...
I don't think when he's 13 I'd be too comfortable with any girl being in his room all night. I mean, obviously if it's like his sister or something, that's different.
Right, if they're just, live journal, exactly, with Supo. Exactly. Since December, we've had fevers, colds, broken leg, head lice. Oh, head lice is going around. By the way, our speech therapist, after we started our session, I guess so I wouldn't run away, she's like, we have head lice at home, but I'm clean. I was like, well, Daniel's got short blonde hair. It'll be okay. We all have short hair. But we definitely weren't rubbing heads with her.
Good. You shouldn't.
I didn't want to unnecessarily worry you. Yeah, 19 and trying to hang out with a 13-year-old. Like,
yeah.
That's very... There's something emotionally not okay with you developmentally if you're 19 and you want to hang out with 13-year-olds. Just because they're should be on completely different planes of existence. Mm-hmm. Most 19-year-olds, and we live in a college town, are usually chasing after the grad students.
I mean...
Or at least children their own age. Adults their own age.
Okay. Children their own age. I mean...
Yeah, adults their own age. I'm old now. Yeah, exactly, Robin. Like, at 19, I would not tolerate him doing that. But I don't blame Ashley in that situation. I do blame her parents. It's like, would you be okay with your daughters doing that? I mean, maybe they would. Like, I wouldn't be okay with my child doing that.
No. Andrea still didn't get Raphael any sneakers. Look, if she buys him sneakers, then none of their loyal followers will.
And I noticed she also, I can't believe that nobody else has bought them for her, for them. Probably hasn't. She's like, oh, he loves them, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Yeah, she
Keep
doesn't.
talking.
Yeah, she's not going to acknowledge it now. Andrea got 2 bags of clothes. It's like 2 bags of clothes that don't look good. Like, she wears ill-fitting clothes. Like,
I don't know. Maybe she buys them in anticipation of losing more weight.
I think that's probably part of it. Which,
Or maybe she buys it because she really does think she's a size 12.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nitty, that's funny. That age was jailbait. I bet you were a little
I'm
troublemaker.
jailbait. Ugh. It's funny to think of her going up to guys and saying, "Hi, I'm jailbait." Troublemaker.
We stand a little
You
troll.
troublemaker.
We stand a baby troll.
That's right. A jailbait troll.
No, there's nothing inherently wrong with Mormons. There is a culture around like the Mormon blogging culture and like or Utah influencer culture if you're more comfortable with that. Like there is an inherent like there's some concerning things about the culture and they're using their faith as a cover for some really bad behavior, which is pretty terrible.
Yeah, since they network together and have all this influence together, then once you're interconnected, the like questionable ones have their reputations linked with the more wholesome ones, and so the wholesome ones don't want to say anything because then they're going to bring themselves down. It's kind of like what happened with the Catholic Church, where they started, even the people who didn't do anything wrong covered up for the people who did something wrong because they don't want like the whole Catholic Church to look bad, which ironically made the whole Catholic Church look bad when things did come out.
Absolutely, and like it's not like just Mormons do this. Like, the Catholics do it. I know as a Jewish person, Jews do it. Like, unfortunately, like that's one of the downsides. Danny Lynn is sometimes people use their faith as a cover to do really terrible things. And like, I think Nitty's absolutely right when she's like, you know what? It's not like the faith, it's the people.
Yeah.
I agree with
I would
that.
say, I don't even think it's really a matter of faith. It's any sort of like tribal identity group, shall we say.
I concur.
Like, whatever is relevant, which is often religion, but it could be, it can be
Ethnicity,
race. Right.
It can be, yeah.
Like, all the people ended up backing up Jesse Smollett even after it got shown that he was lying.
Mm-hmm.
But then they like dropped the charges and everything, just as an easy example, or all sorts of different things like that.
Long story short, people are terrible.
People are terrible. Why do you trust them? Look at what happened to our channel. Proof that people are terrible.
By the way, Danny Lynn, one of my.
Oh no! YouTube will not say who complained.
Nope, they will not. It's not like a strike. It's not like a strike, and it's so frustrating.
They didn't even warn us that it was coming. It's just all of a sudden your monetization is gone. We can talk in a month.
Yeah, and maybe if you use your psychic, bye, baby. I'll see you guys. I'll see you at 8 tonight. I'll be on, and I'll figure out the platform if I'm gonna go Twitch. Sure.
A D-cup chest and lots of creepy bison guys trying to flirt. Just shout, "I'm jailbait."
I don't know. That might draw them in closer.
Yeah. I mean, you're in a sense you're saying like, "Hi." Oh boy, when I was 13, I know like chests were the main thing I was interested in because that's the main difference between like sexually mature girl and sexually immature girl.
Right, that makes sense. Nitty says, creeps that hide behind the cover of faith just to make them seem safe. That's true. Jesse is going back to court, Angela. That's true. Like, that's just shameful. Because, like, there are people who actually suffer from the things, like, that he alleged. There are things like that still happening. Like, it's just awful. Like, it's awful what he did. Because now people are less likely to believe real victims. And to me, like, that would just be unforgivable.
Yeah, I saw that actually. Jesse is going back to court. Angela just mentioned that. I saw that he got indicted on a few counts of I forget what it was now, but like I do have it over here. 6 counts of disorderly conduct.
Good. Danny Lynn, I suppose it could be. It's just those are the most likely players. It's like those are just the people who have the biggest chance at doing it. I also know with those two people, you can't just keep striking people with YouTube. And, you know, if you keep trying to strike people, eventually you run out of options.
Yeah, it could. I mean, I'm sure that other people have reported the channel too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that those two are the main ones who tried to like shut the channel down. They both tried, like, those are the two who reported videos and like tried to get them removed for copyright strikes and tried to get the channel removed.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't really happened with anyone else. Like, you know, say what you will about Jess Fam or whatever, but she hasn't tried to get our videos taken down.
No, she hasn't. I don't know. Could be that troublesome Jen Chapin.
That's who it was.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun, dun. Bye, Mama Three Girls.
Bye, Mama Three Girls. Have a good day.
Yeah, it could certainly be minions on a Facebook page. Like, by all means, it could be a coordinated effort by their fans.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if that was something like that. But so little surprises me anymore. Well, guys, I'm going to hop off of here. I will see you guys at 8 tonight. I'm going to be streaming. I'm on the fence if it's going to be on Twitch or if it'll be on the main channel, but we shall certainly see. I'll let you guys know in a community post, and I'll try to put something on Instagram as well.
Yeah. So, it's been a fun hour. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Mwah. Mwah. Mwah.
Mwah.